I'm going to say straight off the bat, this has to be the worst release in this entire list. Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the recently announced Air Jordan Autumn Collection. So in this video, I'm going to share with you every single release that's been announced on the Sneakers app as of yesterday. So for anyone who missed it, we've got you covered with each and every release. I'll tell you what I do like, what I don't like, and share with you a little bit about which releases I'm looking forward to the most. So I'm actually quite excited to be doing this video for you guys right now. But before we go ahead and actually dive in, I just want to welcome back all of my returning subscribers. If you're new around here and you haven't done so already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. And if you do want to reach out to me outside of YouTube, you can find me most active on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. And with all that set aside, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and dive straight into this video. So no messing about for this one, let's just get stuck straight into this list. Kicking us off with the very first release, we have the Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds. Now this for me was the best and most perfect place to start this list off. I'm honestly incredibly gassed about this particular shoe. It's one of those releases that I've been looking forward to since it was announced last year, and every single month that's passed and we've gotten closer to the release, I have just got super in my own head about it and worrying about not getting it and what the stock number's like, and that's not something that I normally do when it does come to shoes. But this is one of those must grab releases no matter what the circumstances, whether I'm paying resale or retail. Everything about this shoe is incredible, from the fact that we have Nike Air on the heel, that classic OG colorway. It is a grail on my list, and along with the black cements which we already have and the white cements which are being rumored for next year, this is a shoe that I have to get in my collection no matter what.
Shut up and take my money.
So just moving on swiftly to the next one upon this list. The next one that we are going to be taking a look at is the Air Jordan 1 Retro in the Taxi colorway. Now, I honestly wasn't too excited about this release for many reasons. I'm not a Jordan 1 collector, not a big fan of the Jordan 1 in general. But something that they actually said within the video really piqued my interest, and they said that the actual inspiration behind the colorway actually comes from the Taxi 12s. I didn't know that, I will be completely honest. Now, on the back of the Taxi 12s, there is a little like goldy, yellowy section where the Jumpman is, and that apparently that has inspired an entirely brand new colorway. So with that, even though I'm not a Jordan 1 collector and I don't particularly like how they feel on feet, I have to go for these just because of, I love a good backstory, and I think that this is a really clean colorway. I think there's a lot to like about it. Apparently, based on what they were saying, the quality of materials looks decent as well, and everything that we are seeing just from an aesthetics point of view just matches up with what I'd be looking for. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and the next one is actually one for the ladies. Now, as I was actually watching the live stream, I actually noticed that she was actually swapping out her earrings. Had no idea what that was in reference to, but when you see the shoe, you definitely can understand what I'm talking about. So this is the Air Jordan 1 Denim. Now this is going to be in women's exclusive sizing, but they did go on to say that it is quite inclusive, so I do think it will go up to maybe those slightly larger sizes, 9s, 10s and whatnot. It's probably just bigger sizes, 11 and up, that are probably going to have to miss out on these. Definitely has that women's look to the shoe, I will be completely honest. It's not something on my radar whatsoever, but that doesn't take anything away from the shoe in my opinion. I think it looks really clean. I think that denim look definitely is a really nice vibe in itself. I'm not a fan of the kind of like the golden hoop on the laces. I think that that's potentially a little bit tacky, but this shoe wasn't designed with me in mind, so that kind of is neither here nor there. Just from my personal opinion, I don't really need it. I think the shoe itself is fine as it is. And I think it kind of has like almost like a hyper royal type of feel, just made out of denim instead. Maybe that's just me seeing it and I'm completely crazy, but as soon as he actually pulled them out, I just had that hyper royal type of feel to them. So this is a really nice release as well. Again, not something that I'm particularly looking for my own collection, but for the ladies, this is definitely a really interesting colorway. If there are any of you ladies actually watching this video, which I truly hope there is, because this is a male majority audience, but if there are any female sneakerheads joining us for this video, I'd love to get your guys' opinion on it as well. So do let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section down below. So August is definitely dominated by the Jordan 1, and the next one, again, believe it or not, is another Jordan 1, but this time it is the Air Jordan 1 Stealths. Now this is, for me, arguably one of the best releases throughout this autumn collection, not only because it is a really clean colorway, but because of the fact that it actually used goat's leather. Now, everyone refers to Michael Jordan as the GOAT, as we all already know, and the fact that he used goat's leather on the shoe, kind of tongue-in-cheek, and maybe I'm dumbing it down more than it needs to be, but I just thought that that was really interesting. I'm not sure if that's the first time they've ever used goat's leather. I kind of hope that it is, just to kind of add some extra significance. But yeah, I think these are really clean. I think the overall colorway itself, even without the fact they're using goat's leather, just is absolutely amazing. I think the colorway is very, very clean. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and this one is actually another shoe that's inspired by a previous colorway. So next up we have the Air Jordan 5 Dark Concords, and I will be completely honest, this is definitely a very necessary shoe. I haven't really been going for Jordan 5s that much, and I kind of feel like this is maybe a good opportunity to kind of, you know, reignite my love for the Jordan 5. I think it is definitely one of my favorite silhouettes, but the colorway just haven't been hitting for me. But this one, just a really clean colorway, a mostly white upper, really nice hits of purple in there as well, and the fact that it's inspired by the Air Jordan 11 Concords, I mean, again, I love a good story, so this is definitely another one on the list I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for. It really depends on how the other releases go, because right now, Nike and Jordan Brand and all these other brands are just completely flooding us with releases. So you definitely have to start being a little bit, you know, tactical and a little bit specific as to what releases you do want to pick up, or at least I do. So for me, if I do end up picking up the Fire Reds and then the Stealths, I probably would be willing to pass on these. But if something gets pushed back or I'm taking an L on something else, I honestly wouldn't be mad to grab these. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and this one has to be a contender for one of the best releases over autumn. Again, it is a women's exclusive release, but this time it is the Air Jordan 5 in the Canyon Purple colorway. Now this for me is just absolutely doing everything I need it to do. It is absolutely fire. I know people are going to actually look at this as like the Friends and Family Travis Scott 4s, but as soon as I saw these, for some reason I was just getting strong Halloween vibes. There's something about this colorway, I think it looks absolutely amazing. The materials, the details, everything about this release was getting me mad hype. As soon as I was seeing it, I was like, you know, because don't get me wrong, like, we've been seeing the pictures of this shoe for such a long time. Again, it is one of those ones that have been heavily rumored. So I'm definitely going for these, definitely as a contender for one of my best releases in autumn. And it's kind of in that category, not quite with the Fire Reds, because that's like up there. But if I can definitely get these, I would be madly gassed to have them in the collection. And I think a lot of people who are watching this video now are probably going to be excited about this one as well. So definitely keep your eye out for these. These are absolutely incredible. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and the next one that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 13 in the French blue colorway. Now, for me, I'm a huge fan of the Air Jordan 13. It is honestly one of my favourite Air Jordan silhouettes. Definitely top 5 as a bare minimum when it comes to the 13s. I would say that this is probably the best Jordan 13 release of the year out of everything that has released. But I still feel like it's one of those ones that I could happily pass on. It's a very clean looking shoe. I love the fact that it's actually inspired by the True Blue Jordan 3s. Again, one of my favourite colourways. And again, one of those shoes that's inspired by a previous colourway. This isn't the last one on the list either. There's plenty more as well. So it seems like Jordan Brand is in like a nostalgic phase right now. So all in all, it's not terrible. But again, it's not something that I have to have. Especially at the new price point of £190. I can definitely afford to be a lot more strategic with releases like that. So for me, I wouldn't mind getting them, but I'm not going to be going out of my way to get them, if that makes sense. But again, a really clean colorway. But with that said, let's move on to the next one. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and the next release that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 14 Gingers. Now, I will be honest, I'm still technically new to these parts, and I am still very much getting myself acclimatized with certain Jordan models. I'm not the biggest fan of the 14, and we've only actually had one, I think, on the channel in terms of a review, or maybe even two. So I don't know as much about the Jordan 14 as I imagine some of you guys will. But when they started to kind of like break down the history of this particular colorway and let us know that this is the very first time we are seeing the ginger colorway since 1999, and it's actually releasing as a high for the first time, as its initial release was done on the lows. It definitely held my interest right the way throughout the segment. I think the colorway is super clean. It's the right release, releasing at the right time. And I think there's just not a lot to hate about this shoe. Whether or not you are a fan of the 14 or not, you got to admit it's a very clean, very basic looking shoe. Something you can wear with a lot of different outfit choices. And especially as we head into autumn, it is a really great rotational pair. So again, very clean, very simple colorway. Something I imagine a lot of people are going to be really interested in. But for me, it is a pretty relatively easy pass. Not something I have to have. So let's go ahead, move on to the next one. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and the very next release that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 4 in the black and light steel colorway. Now this is one of those occasions where I feel like the mock-up did not do justice to the actual shoe itself. When I saw those initial mock-up images for the Canvas 4s, you know, I weren't feeling them. I will be completely honest. I'm not sure if it was very early mock-ups or if they just completely got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the pictures that I remember seeing didn't look even remotely similar to what we see on the screen now. Very clean colorway. I think that this as a canvas option was better than the women's canvas that released, I think, a couple of weeks back or maybe even a month ago now. And this shoe is going to do absolutely incredible numbers. Even in the segment, both of the presenters did actually kind of reference the Eminem Carhartt collab. You can definitely see the similarities there. Obviously, it's not the same. It's completely different materials, but the colorway and you could say the inspiration is definitely there. If, like me, you can't afford to get the M&M Carhartts, this is a very, very good alternative option. Definitely one of those releases that's high on the agenda. Have to get these for the personal collection. And the fact that it is canvas probably means that it is a lot more wearable and a little bit more durable than certain other releases on this list as well. So I'm kind of excited for it, but at the same time, I can kind of smell that L on the horizon, and I feel like everybody who's anybody's going to want these, whether you're a reseller, a collector, just a fan of the Jordan 4, a YouTuber, anyone in any walk of life that has any kind of connection to sneakers is probably going to really feel these and really go for these, whether you're just after trying to make a couple of quid or if you're actually wanting them for the collection. This is probably up there as one of the hardest releases to get. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. They could be dropping incredible stock numbers, but I highly doubt it. You know what I'm saying? It's just highly, highly unlikely. The very next release that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 1 Starfish. Now, as soon as they pulled these out, the little thing in the back of my head was going, Air Jordan 1 shattered backboard 4 or 5.0, wherever we're at right now. But the more I actually looked at them, the more we went through this little segment, the more I realized that the orange isn't actually that close. Or don't get me wrong, you know, as soon as you see orange on a Jordan 1, you do think of the shattered backboards for obvious reason. But I actually think that this is a really nice colorway just based on its own merit. Perfect for that time of year. Everybody thinks of like orange and brown and foliage and all these like leaves falling off trees, especially around autumn and fall. So I feel like it's definitely appropriate for that time of year. And I wouldn't necessarily say it would match this particular t-shirt I'm wearing, but I think it would be relatively close. Again, it is another really clean Jordan 1 colorway. They are definitely giving the Jordan 1 a much needed revitalized look. A lot of the colorways they've released this year have been a bit bland, and some of them are definitely very forgettable. Some have kind of gone under the radar as well, I gotta say that. But a lot of their releases have just been a bit easy to pass on, and I definitely feel like this is one of those releases that could potentially fall under the radar, but I highly doubt it. I think a lot of people are going to be really excited for these, and I think that this is going to do really well. So moving on to the next release on our list, and I will be honest, I'm going to say straight off the bat, this has to be the worst release in this entire list. So the next one that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 12 Women's Hyper Royal. Now, this has nothing to do with the fact that it's a women's release. I just think the colorway is awful. Genuinely, like the color blocking, the black to blue ratio is absolutely fine. The white midsole, I could definitely give that a miss. The outsole's pretty clean, and the fact that it, you know, kind of looks very similar to the presenter's nails kind of didn't do anything for me. But if you like that, that's fine. But I think overall, this is the worst release on this entire list. I just can't think of any reason that I personally would go for it. Again, like I said, for the other women's release that we talked about at the beginning of the video, this wasn't designed with me in mind, so what does my opinion even matter? So if you do like these and you are either a woman or a man that really likes the colorway, you can just completely disregard my opinion. It has no merit and it doesn't make any difference to whether or not you should like it. But I have to give you my unbiased opinion, and I just think that this is awful. And it's definitely the worst release on the list. But I think that's as much as I'm going to say about it, because my mum always said, if you got nothing nice to say, keep it moving. So let's keep it going. And last but by no means least, the very final release that we are taking a look at for this autumn collection. To close us out, we have the Air Jordan 6 Midnight Navies. Now, ever since this shoe was rumoured at the back end of last year, start of this year, it has definitely been one of those shoes that I've been keeping my eye out for quite regularly. I will be honest, my excitement towards its release has kind of dulled a little bit, and I'm feeling the colourway, don't get me wrong. But again, like I've said for other releases, I'm not sure if it is a must grab. When we get closer to the release date, I'll probably completely change my opinion and be saying to you guys on camera in a future video that these are a must cop, because they very much could be. I just think with all the releases that we've talked about, I kind of have to focus on the ones coming out first before I can really commit to getting things further down the line. But again, everything about this shoe just screams absolutely premium. The look of the materials alone looks absolutely incredible. That really nice grade, those hits of Midnight Navy, it's just everything about it is fire. They did actually say that it's actually inspired by the Midnight Navy 3s. I found that a little bit hard to believe. I'm sure they've used Midnight Navy colorways before the Midnight Navy 3s, but if that's the inspiration, that's the inspiration. I do actually have the Midnight Navy 3s as well. Super clean colorway. Absolutely love them as well. So a lot to love about this shoe. Nothing to hate about it. I think it looks absolutely incredible and definitely a perfect shoe to close us out with. And just like that, we've wrapped up all of the autumn releases that have been announced by Jordan Brand. If you have stuck around to this point in the video, I do just want to point out that this isn't going to be every single colorway. They do have to keep some cards close to the chest and have some for surprise drops, collabs, and all those other kind of things. Even in the video itself, the person who was also a co-presenter from, I think, Union, she was talking about her collab, and I believe she referenced the Air Jordan 7s. So this isn't going to include every single Jordan release. This is just the ones that they wanted to announce. And I feel like it's a really good mix. There's plenty of different options for whatever your preference is, whether you're a fan of the 1s, the 4s, the 3s, the 5s, the 12s, whatever you like, there are plenty to keep you covered. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on it because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of mixed opinions. A lot of people seem to be really disappointed. I'm really surprised. I think it's a really clean, really great selection, but I'd love to get your guys' take on it as well. So do let me know all of your opinions in the comment section down below. And if you have stuck around to this point in the video, I just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one.